And as a result, the average American spends 7 hours per day looking at a screen, meaning people, on average, spend more time looking at screens than they do sleeping. But when Frito isn't watching mindless content, he's trying to get his rocks off.
Go away, Peyton!
Idiocracy might actually have less emphasis on sexuality than the present day. Adult content exists now on 12% of all websites and is viewed by approximately 69% of American men and 40% of American women in any given year. The industry is estimated to generate over $100 billion, with OF being one of the major contributors to that statistic. It's inescapable. Even two OnlyFans girls bought tickets to the NBA Western Conference Finals, sat right behind the coach, so anytime he was on the screen, it was showing their chest, which I will admit is smart marketing, but it's just an example of how content that was once in dark corners of the internet or magazines that were in the back of the store now regularly intersects with mainstream entertainment. So when watching the film, a majority of people would laugh at Frito's situation. He's a hilarious character, but the irony is that a lot of people are slowly becoming him. They watch mind-numbing entertainment designed to help them forget about their lives and responsibilities while being guided by a cursed algorithm
Is mind-numbing content?
Satisfy instead of focusing on achieving higher goals.
My higher goal is plarn.
Consumerism has taken over the world. Advertising has become so deeply integrated into society that many people have stopped distinguishing between what is an ad and what isn't. Most people have literal brands as a part of their names, like Mountain Dew, Frito, and BMW. The city-sized Costco is so large that people basically live inside of it and use a train to get to different locations to constantly buy more things. When Joe enters the building for the first time, Frito admits that he got his law degree from Costco and it's considered prestigious. Even the single-use shirts and pants that everyone in Idiocracy wears every day to avoid washing clothes have brands on them like they're about to race on a NASCAR track. And while it looks bold and stupid in Idiocracy, if you were born after 1995, odds are you've never spent a day ad-free in your entire life. At present, people see roughly 5,000 ads per day. There are 5.3 trillion display ads showed online every year. On average, children see 20,000 30-second commercials each year. Adults see an average of 2 million of those on a yearly basis. When Joe is thrown out of Frito's apartment, he still can't fully believe what he's seeing. He's stumbling over trash and attempting to seek help from people, but all anyone can do is mock him for speaking intelligently, which, keep in mind, he's just speaking normally.
Joe was able to understand them, but when he spoke in an ordinary voice, he sounded pompous to them.
He convinces himself he's hallucinating from the hibernation drugs and makes his way to St. God's Memorial Hospital. And yet when he gets there, the place looks more like a sketchy fast food restaurant on the edge of Las Vegas with slot machines, failing technology, and covered in grime. Slot machines at the hospital feels like the modern equivalent of sports betting apps. Gambling used to require an actual trip to a casino. Today, it lives in your pocket. You can literally place wagers from anywhere in the world. And I
on anything too. You can gamble and bet on absolutely anything.
His symptoms to the nurse. She just stares blankly and holds her finger over a number of stick figures on colored buttons, which looks like a kid's toy that teaches toddlers to recognize colors and shapes, or like a modern fast food menu that allows you to simply touch the picture.
No, not like a no.
In Idiocracy, the healthcare system was so
that is not a good comparison.
Easier that every interaction is now automated, from the front desk to sharing information with the primary care physician. Everything is so ridiculously simplified that a child can do it. And while today we're not quite pushing cartoonish buttons yet, this doesn't mean that hospitals and medical professionals are immune to cutting corners. There are now surveys reporting that some doctors are turning to AI tools intended for non-clinical uses to make clinical decisions. It's also the first time we see that this alternate future doesn't prioritize drinking water, which is honestly the most insane part of the movie. Drink water. Instead, the water fountains dispense a sports drink called Brondo, which is basically just a parody of Gatorade. And when Joe asks the medical staff for actual water, they just laugh at him and wonder why he wants to drink the stuff that goes into the toilet. Brondo is touted as this magic solution to everything because it, quote, has electrolytes.
Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
And electrolytes just so happen to be one of the buzzwords Logan Paul and Mr. Beast repeatedly used when marketing Prime and Lunchly as healthier alternatives.
More electrolytes. Lunchables, yes. Hundreds of millions of units.
I need electrolytes.
Product, 80 less calories, 60%
because when I don't drink
more electrolytes. So
electrolytes, I get extremely painful.
Good. And that is the
chronic
problem here in the lack of misunderstanding.
Cramps
with
in my legs
and hydration
and feet. And
I mean,
very, very painful.
Another small
Financial stuff is the hardest part of running a small business. Relay simplifies everything. The backbone of my business.
I'm talking.
Sure.
I wake up in the middle of the night screaming.
Jack. Me too.
And if Dad sleeps through it, whatever.
Jack and Coke. Jack Daniels, please.
Right away.
That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Okay,
Another
that's
small detail in the film is that at one point, Joe is standing in a room with wallpaper made entirely out of dollar bills, which is symbolic of the currency becoming so worthless that it's more useful as decoration than actual money. While we're obviously nowhere near that point, Americans have watched the purchasing power of the dollar decline noticeably in recent years. Since 2020 alone, consumer prices have increased by roughly 25%, meaning what costs $100 just a few years ago now costs about $125. Put another way, a dollar today buys you only about 80% of what it did at the start of the decade. All it takes is a few major economic mistakes and we'll be decorating our walls with worthless money. One of the more subtle, dark realities in Idiocracy was that everyone on Earth has a barcode tattoo for transactions, identification, and to digitally track where they are at all times. Without one, Joe is labeled as unscannable and immediately becomes a wanted man, running around a collapsing civilization suffering from a deadly drought that's killed all the crops and a devastated economy with a hyperinflated currency. The stupidity of it all is really funny, but it's hard to not notice how close we are to similar circumstances. For example, payment implants are already being widely considered by countries all over the world. According to BBC, a 2021 survey of more than 4,000 people across the UK and the European Union
Why not get an
found that
implant? I want an
51%
implant.
would consider it. It doesn't take a genius to see
So
how
it's
this could
easy
become
for
a
somebody
massive
to identify
security issue
me
for everyone.
in an
One day,
emergency.
the chip
They can just
implant is for our
scan my
convenience,
chip,
and the next it's telling
and they
us
get
we
all the
can't leave our
information they
city
need.
after an unpaid parking ticket.
My
Plus,
medical
our phones
information,
are already acting as a
my
version of the
name,
barcode
my
system
address,
anyways.
my
It's
phone
arguably
number,
worse. It knows where
my
we
emergency
are, where
contact.
who we talk to, what we are talking about, what we buy, what we search for, and what we are interested in.
And that
The
chip
difference is
only
the citizens
contains
of
data.
Idiocracy were forced to carry a tracking device.
It isn't
We buy ours for more than
a tracking
$1,000
device.
and upgrade it
It
constantly
is
to make it
only
easier
a
and
little
more
tiny
efficient for it to
itty bitty
control
piece
us.
of memory
Where Idiocracy really
and
starts
a
to
little
feel
tiny itty
unsettling
bitty
is its
computer
portrayal of government,
that doesn't
because
run
it
or
is
do
supposed to
anything
be a
until you
completely
run the
absurd
scanner.
exaggeration of what a dysfunctional
It has a
society might
freaking
look like, and yet a lot of it feels
antenna
not that far from reality. After running around the city
that
and learning more
accepts
about the imminent
power
collapse of
from the
human
scanner,
civilization, Joe Bowers
then
is
sends
taking
back
his
a
trial to
signal
face the
to
crime
the
of
scanner.
being unscannable. The
And
police
if
are
it
like
doesn't have the
cavemen
scanner
riot
nearby,
gear, and a
it
pepper
doesn't
spray
have any
Joe
power.
being completely
It
detained
just sits
and
there
not a
doing
threat to them
absolutely
whatsoever. It
nothing.
only gets more ridiculous when he's placed in a large human-sized cage before being thrown into a courtroom, only for his defense attorney to be Frito Pandeo. The courtroom is not filled with respectful spectators, but more like a manic mob of sports fans tuning in for some drama. One of them has a
Okay.
large bike helmet with a camera mounted on, recording his point of view, which is essentially the modern equivalent of Meta Ray-Bans. The judge has a spotlight pointed on him
I
as if
need
it's one big theatrical event, and his name is
head-mounted
the
camera,
Honorable Hector the Hangman.
or at
And
least
Joe's
one
essentially
head-mounted
believed to be
camera,
guilty before he's able to
so that
state
I
his
can show
case.
people
In
my
an effort to speak
perspective when
clearly
I'm
is seen
making
as a sign of
plarn
weakness, and everyone
and my
cheers when
map,
he's
so
sentenced
that they
to
can
prison
learn how
without
to
a
do
second
what I'm
thought.
doing.
Again, while this seems like an exaggeration, it's not like we haven't struggled with a very similar problem. The first example would be court-appointed public defenders like Frito. They're obviously not as dumb as him, but their salaries are determined by county judges. They're less incentivized to take your calls, and they rarely have a voice in court due to being overbooked and underprepared. As far as the angry mob of spectators looking for entertainment
Yeah, that's
in
a
the
system
movie,
that
they
we
might have
need
been
to do something
satisfied
about.
with the real-life fight that took place between a public defender and a judge in Brevard County, Florida.
Stop pissing me off. Just sit down. I'll take care of it. I don't need your help.
No, you know, I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to
I
stand
said
and represent
sit
my
down.
clients.
If you want to fight, let's go out back and I'll just
Let's go.
The people in Idiocracy are not the only ones looking for a show in the courtroom.
If I were a public defender, I would tell a judge, I have a right to be here to represent my client.
But it comes with major issues.
You don't have a right to shut me up and sit me down
The challenge for trial attorneys is identifying
and stop me
potential
from
jurors
representing
who
my
hold
client.
misstated biases.
That
Jurors
is
may be
illegal,
inclined to hide biases,
and that is a
particularly
mistrial.
ones that they feel are less
Do you want a
socially
mistrial?
acceptable. When asked difficult or sensitive
Do you want to be
questions, jurors
removed
may try to deliver answers that make them
from
sound
your
better,
position
offering half-truths if they know their full
by the
opinion
bar?
reflect poorly
wanna
on
be
that.
disbarred?
Simply put, televised trials prevent a jury from doing their only job: find the truth. A juror shouldn't be concerned with how their opinions might be perceived.
Oh,
by
you wanna
people
go out
watching
back
at
and
home.
fight
They're supposed to evaluate
like
the
a
facts
fucking
and follow the evidence wherever it leads. But since Joe was a moderately intelligent guy surrounded by dumbasses, he escapes
caveman.
from prison just by telling the guards that he's supposed to be leaving prison and not
I
entering.
shouldn't
And they let him
cuss.
turn around and walk out. When he gets in the car with Frito, the AI in the car is triggered for trafficking a fugitive on their journey to Costco. They lose control of the car, it guides itself to the side of the road and shuts down, and gives the violent and unhinged police officers their exact location. And if you think this is some Black Mirror moment that could never happen, think again, because a congressional bill was passed that will essentially allow government access to your car starting in 2027.
The trigger for all of this sits inside the 2021, all the way back to 2021, Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Buried in Section 24220 is a mandate that forces the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to require advanced impairment driving technology. I love it.
Enjoy your new car. Feels so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
I love it. That's Hide It. In your car that's sold to you here in America.